the teacher was like, I would just like be like, oh my God, what is this saying? Because it's like, quick. I'm like, what are you saying? In my mind, I'm like, please, let's do something else.
Did you listen to the Hot Breakfast this morning? Here's what you missed.
The real name is Bianju Morris. Biaju in Kikuyu, Fiajo. He's a former Sunday school teacher, by the way. Now calls himself simply Zikki. That's a great jam there with Jaguar.
Asante.
Welcome to Hot 96, Zikki.
So much fun to be here.
Hey,
pleasure.
Man.
So, first, tell me, what does Bianju mean? Because Jeff also sounds shocked. Like, you've never heard anyone called Bianju?
Never.
Or Fiaju?
Oh, Fiaju.
Yeah, it's a family name. I'm named after my mother's father. And so I asked him one time, so what does my name mean? So he was like, it just means you're born great. So I was like, okay, I will run with that. So
So at what point did you become a Sunday school teacher?
After high school.
I hear it's a calling. Who called you?
It is God who calls everybody, you know. Yeah, and I just love teaching, and I just like sharing what I know.
So how's a typical Sunday school? I remember I went to Sunday school, 1986, maybe once or twice. I said, maybe I'll just read this for myself. Yeah. You know, teachers back then used to speak in a monotone.
Right.
Yeah.
What was it like?
I used to teach 2 to 5 years, 2 to 5 year olds, and it was fun because you learn so much from children, their innocence, and they haven't been corrupted by anything, and it's just a lot of fun to be with them. So as I teach them about the Bible verses, or just watch them, I also learn how to be meek and how to be calm, patient, and I just get to understand a lot of things from them.
Any kids of your own now?
I have a daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's 4 years old. Yeah.
How long did you teach Sunday school?
2014, 15, 16, then 17. I got too busy, and also
you're too busy for God.
No, I'm not. I love God, but I was also my career was also expanding, and my music is not gospel, but it's more of world music. And so at the same time, I did not want maybe the parents to feel some type of way, So I actually just chose, to take a step back.
Do you feel like people in the church can be very judgmental?
People everywhere are judgmental.
No name only said you are church, see everywhere.
People everywhere are judgmental.
It looks like you don't go to church often, do you?
I pass by one and one. God will forgive me.
Funny thing, my mother is actually a pastor. Yeah, I'm a pastor's kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's still...
Yeah, strong.
Wow,
yeah.
Nice. So music, when did this inspire you? When did you first get into music?
My whole life. I have been singing since the age of, when I can actually remember, around 9. So I used to, when I was 10 years in class, I wrote my first song, which was like a translation of Britney Spears' song. So I just took the lyrics and then translated them to Swahili. And then I was like, wow, I have my first song. And it felt so good. And then after that, I just kept on writing and singing. So all the way through high school and primary school, I just kept on performing. And I would represent the school, when maybe you're supposed to go to a radio station. And yeah, so I just built. I used to perform, write, and make noise in the dormitories at night. And that's just how we came to be.
You used to write this during lessons or at break time,
Sometimes, yeah, okay.
Sometimes during the lesson.
I will admit, yes, because sometimes, because mostly mathematics,
You zone out.
Yeah, because the teacher was like, I would just like be like, oh my God, what is this saying? Because it's like, quick. I'm like, what are you saying? In my mind, I'm like, please, let's do something else.
I can really relate. Even Jeff was like that. Right?
Oh,
I'm still like that.
I can see.
Did your parents approve of this?
At first, my dad was not for it, because he was always, like, he felt like I'm just maybe throwing my life, or maybe I could use my life or my time better. But for me, I'm a bit stubborn, being a middle child. So, and I fight for what I want, and I just told him, you know what, I'm gonna do this whether you support me or not. So when I turned 18 after high school, when I just finished high school in 2013, which was my first year out, so my dad just kicked me out. So I went to live with my mother in Kayole that time, and my mom allowed me to be me, and I just said, you know what, it's all God's plan, you know. So when my dad kicked me out, I went to Kayole, lived with my mother, and that's where I found myself, and that's where I grew. So I just say there's no mistake in life, you know. Yeah.
Is he still around?
Oh, my dad passed away last year. I wasn't even around because I was in Jamaica that time. I was recording my other album. So I also missed the burial, but, you know, we just say, you know, it's life. Yeah, life happens.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Had you guys, you know, like made up with your dad before he passed on, or you're still...
Me and my dad were buddies because at the end of the day, I never allow, you know, one situation to like destroy everything, because I understand and understood him as a parent, and I just said, you know what, just because we differed doesn't mean that now I hate you, but it's just that maybe I have to find my own path, and you have to understand my dream now. I have to show you. I no longer have to tell you, but now I have to show you what I want
to do.
Absolutely. You mentioned Jamaica a moment ago.
Yeah.
How did you meet up with Taras Riley?
It's a long story. Maybe I don't know if you have the time.
No,
we haven't. But you can summarize. If you are paying attention when you are writing lyrics, they'll have taught you summary on that day.
So I met with this white woman from Britain. She was a professor, a teacher, and so back in 2014 December, so we kept the link. We kept on talking. Then she saw my career growing as well. So at the same time, she had a heart condition, and so when she was in hospital, I always used to talk to her, and I just used to tell her, you know what, you're gonna beat this, you know, and she believed it, and she told me, you know what, you made me fight, you know, you gave me a reason to keep on holding on, and she told me that I'm also gonna do something for you, and I said okay. So one time in 2017 December, she told me, would you like to fly out and come to Bahamas? I said, okay. Mind you, I've never met this person, so we're just talking. And I said, okay. So she paid for my flight, and I just got on the flight, and I went.
To the Bahamas?
To the Bahamas.
To meet a stranger?
Yeah, I had nothing in my pocket, really.
You can easily be kidnapped, is what you're saying, eh?
One thing life has taught me is that, you know, like, your faith is the biggest, you know, weapon you have. And so I just said, okay, let's go. So
just like that.
Yeah, even the Bible says, you know, God told Abraham, you know, I'm sending you somewhere, go. And don't look back, just go. I just say the same. It is God who's speaking. So let's go.
So you ended up in the Bahamas?
I went to the Bahamas, and we met for the first time. And it was so amazing. I slept on Paradise Island, where Michael Jackson used to go, and all these people. And wow, the world is so different from outside. And then later we flew to, that was actually Nassau. So we stayed there for around a week. Then we were supposed to go to Dominican Republic, but then visa challenges, you know, the Kenyan passport is not really that strong. So we ended up diverting to Kingston instead. And when we landed, it was actually Bob Marley's birthday. And I just remember driving from the airport and then seeing the Bob Marley's statue, and I'm like, wait, I don't think we're actually here by mistake. So we went to the embassy for Dominican Republic trying to get maybe a visa. They told us, you can't do it, you have to go back to Africa. So even the ambassador sort of like drove us back to the hotel. It was so weird. So we just said, okay, let's just keep on flowing. So I just went to the internet, looked for a good studio. I like jukebox. So we called, and, you know, she was white, so all the doors, you know, just kept on opening. We met with Dean Fraser. He was actually in studio that day. He just said, you know what, meet tomorrow with the manager for Taras. We talk to him. So we went. I did not want to record with Taras. I just wanted to record my music. But then we went there, and there's a song I had recorded in Kenya. It was called Kamata, which was done by So Fresh. And when they just heard it, they were like, whoa, we think Taras would like to be on this. So I'm like, okay, so okay. So okay. So I just said sour. So now he called Tara, said, but I won't promise you anything. But he told us, give us 3 days, we're gonna revert back. Okay. But same time, he also liked my song, Welcome to Kenya. He said, I would also like to record this. Then Dean Fraser said he would like to produce it as well. I was like, okay. So called Taras. 3 days later, I called back. I'm like, yo, Tara said he's gonna do it, but he's actually in New York, so he will have to fly back. He'll have to fly to Kingston and then come and do this. And Taras came and we recorded. Next day, shot the video, and that was it.
And
let me ask you,
is
history. Yeah. So when you do these collabos, was it free? Did you do pro bono? You just wanted to be on your jam? How does it work?
I had to cover for the studio time and the video.
Ah, okay.
And also his flight from New York. Yeah.
You had to pay for all that.
Yeah.
Amataras was at home, he's just saying, Itumia Kurudi.
Itumia Kurudi.
You send him the fare for the flight in 30 minutes, is already there. How long did it take you to teach Tara some Swahili? Because I'm singing Swahili sounds a bit nice there.
Yeah. Just a session. We just did everything in the session. I would write for him Swahili, then he wrote for me Patois, and yeah, we just exchanged the languages. I was supposed to play though with him.
And?
Yeah. The organizers did not plan for me, so at the same time I couldn't perform there. So my team felt that I shouldn't do it because there was no plan for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been a good reunion, huh?
Yeah. Even if it's just appearing for that one song and then you do yours and segue into the next.
Yeah, Kenyan promoters don't want to pay artists.
Oh, then to do it like on scholarship?
No, we don't do free gigs. We spend so much, building our talent. So if we do free gigs, then how are we going to be able to fly back and do more songs?
We need to call out Kenyan promoters. Do you feel like they're the ones who stifle the growth in the industry?
I just feel the whole industry needs just to grow up.
What can be done? Because Nigeria has really blown up, South Africa, even their DJs come here.
Tanzania.
Yeah.
The industry does need a financial injection, It's just unfair because, even the gap itself, how do you pay someone 1 million then pay the artist 20,000? That's just mad.
Yeah.